joke first. Why does a pirate who's going to walk the plank not have a shower? Think about that while I get my guitar. The answer is because he knows he's going to get washed up on shore. Do you get it? All right. This is a pirate story. We haven't had a pirate story yet. And seeing as I've got the gear on, we ought to have one. It's called Pirate Girl. And it means that in this story, I can do my pirate voices, which I haven't done before. Not even in that pirate joke. The person in the story is called Captain Firebeard. That would be painful, wouldn't it? Captain Firebeard was the terror of the high seas. His ship, the horrible haddock, sailed faster than the wind over the waves. Whenever the horrible haddock appeared on the horizon, the knees of honest seafaring folk would shake like jelly. We wouldn't be frightened though, would we? Captain Firebeard had a fearsome crew. His helmsman was Morgan O'Meany. His cook was Cutlass Tom, not forgetting Bill the Bald, Willie Woodenhand, Crooked Carl, and 20 more terrible pirates just like them. When Firebeard's crew boarded a ship, nothing was safe. They stole the silver spoons and the captain's uniform. They stole the ship's figurehead, the pots and pans, the hammocks and the sails. And of course, they stole all the casks of rum. Pirates are supposed to drink rum. But one day, Firebeard robbed a ship that he should have left well alone. On board was a little girl called Molly. Molly was off to see her granny on a boat on her own. All right. The pirates leapt on board with an ear-splitting roar. Molly tried hiding among the ropes, but Morgan O'Meany soon fished her out. "Here, what shall we do with her?" he smirked. "Take her with us, you fool," bellowed Firebeard. "Her parents will pay handsome ransom for such a little treasure. And if not, then we'll feed her to the sharks." "You'll be sorry for this," cried Molly. But Morgan O'Meany rolled her up like a herring and tossed her on board the horrible haddock. Have you remembered that the ship is called the Horrible Haddock? Sure you have. When the sun had gone down, Bill the Bald dragged Molly to see the captain. "Right, tell me your parents' names and address, or else," growled Captain Firebeard. "Will not," Molly growled back. "If I told you my mother's name, you'd be so scared you'd be crying like a baby." At this, all the pirates howled with laughter. So Molly was put to work. She peeled potatoes and cleaned boots. She polished cutlasses, patched sails and scrubbed the deck. Soon every bone in her body ached. 3 times a day Firebeard asked her name and address, but Molly just smiled. "Feed her to the sharks," roared Willie Woodenhand. But Firebeard ground his teeth and said, "She'll talk before long." Every night the pirates had a party. They drank rum, staggered across the deck, danced on the ship's rigging, and bawled out the rudest songs. But Molly had a plan. While the pirates were carousing, she wrote secret messages and popped them into empty bottles. When the pirates were safely snoring in their bunks, she tossed them into the sea. Molly did this every night. Can you see the bottles bobbing in the water? One night, the pirates partied until dawn. By this time, they fell asleep on the deck. Molly tiptoed over the tangle of arms and legs and threw her bottle over the ship's rail. Splish, splash, it landed in the deep, wide sea. "Hey, what was that?" yelled Morgan O'Meany. The pirates staggered over to the rail. "Oh, it's a message in a bottle," they all cried. "Bring it to me," shouted Captain Firebeard. "Now." The pirates dived to the bottom of the sea. They searched and searched, but Molly's message had bobbed away. Soaking wet, they crawled back on deck, cursing. Dear me, they were cross. "Tell me what you wrote," demanded Captain Firebeard. But Molly just kicked at his wooden leg. Gosh, he's brave. Firebeard went as red as a lobster. "Now it's time to feed it to the sharks," he roared. But a cry from above stopped him. "Pirates!" shouted 10-Pint Ted from the crow's nest. "Nonsense," scoffed Firebeard. "We're the only pirates around here." As it happens, they're not. But he was wrong. A ship with red sails was speeding towards them. A giant black flag with a skull and crossbones fluttered from its mast. "Who in the name of Neptune's beard is that?" stuttered Firebeard. "That's my mum," grinned Molly. "Oh, it's Barbara's Bertha herself," wailed the crew of the horrible haddock. Firebeard went as white as a sheet, and his pirates rolled their eyes in fear. This time it was their knees that were shaking, and Bill the Bald's false teeth almost flew out of his mouth. The ship with the red sails drew closer and closer. Barbarous Bertha stood at the prow, swinging her cutlass. "Wait till she sees my hands," said Molly. "They're red and raw from peeling potatoes. That will make my mum maddest of all." Firebeard and his pirates groaned with terror. Soon Barbarous Bertha was alongside the horrible haddock. Her ferocious crew sprung themselves over the rail with a terrible roar. "We're here at last, my pirate girl," cried Barbarous Bertha, throwing Molly high up in the air. "We got your message. Your granny was beginning to wonder where you were. Now, how nasty can we be to these piratical nincompoops?" "Well," said Molly, "that's easy." From that day on, Captain Firebeard and his pirate crew had no time to think about raiding ships. Willie Woodenhand scrubbed the deck. Morgan O'Meany and Cutlass Tom peeled vegetables from morning until night. Captain Firebeard polished Barbarous Bertha's boots 14 times a week. And Molly was finally able to visit her granny. And that's the end of the story. There they are. You see them? Right. Time for a song, I think. I'm using a different guitar this time. You notice how it looks slightly different to my other one. This is very, very old. It's so old I have to look after it very carefully. Now, not only is it older than me, but it's twice as old as me. Can you imagine that? Something that is twice as old as me. Yeah. It's a lovely little guitar. Listen, it sounds different to my other one. It's got nylon string, not steel ones. I'll use it for the song, shall I? The song is called When I First Came to This Land. It's about a man who doesn't have anything. So he starts off by building himself a shack to live in. And then he needs some animals, a horse, a cow, and so on. I won't tell you what happens at the end, but he doesn't get the pirate, I promise. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I built myself a shack, and I did what I could. I called my shack Break My Back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I got myself a horse, and I did what I could. I called my horse Lame, of course, pulled my shack, break my back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I got myself a cow, and I did what I could. I called my cow No Milk Now, called my horse Lame, of course, called my shack Break My Back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I got myself a hen, and I did what I could. I called my hen, don't know when, called my cow, no milk now, called my horse, lame of course, called my shack, break my back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I got myself a wife, and I did what I could. And I called my wife the joy of my life. I called my hen, I don't know when. I called my horse Lame, of course. I called my shack Break My Back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. When I first came to this land, I was not a wealthy man. So I got myself a son, and I did what I could. And I called my son My Work's Done, called my wife Joy of My Life, called my hen I don't know when, called my cow No Milk Now, called my horse Lame, of course, called my shack Break My Back, but the land was sweet and good, and I did what I could. See you next time.